it doesn't matter who you are, what religion you are, or it doesn't matter. If you're an atheist or a Christian or a Jewish person or a Jew or a Muslim, it doesn't matter what religion you are. You at least know that one person who you're friends with, who are your family members, etc., who cherry-picked your type of holy book for Christians, the Bible for Jewish people, the Torah, etc. And you know those people that pick those verses that really annoy you, and you know that they get under your skin for some reason. So one of my friends from school, one of my friends who I used to go to school with, posted a picture from must have been from one of his friend sites, but it's a quote from the Bible from Episcopal, chapter 4, verse 29. Gossip is the devil's radio, so don't be his DJ. And I said, gossip is a conversation starter.
Gossip is vicious.
Now, people like my friend, I mean, very nice guy, but ignorant ignorant sometimes. For some reason, though, he cherry picks the Bible as if the Bible is a newspaper.
Yep, gossiping right now. Gossip is vicious.
And the thing is, I mean, first of all, and I actually asked him something logical. I asked him, so if gossip is the devil's radio, so I suppose the news is the devil's work.
That's news.
And that's a completely logical question. If you think about it, it's like, oh, so if gossip is news today, and then, oh, so isn't the news the devil's work? I mean, just a curiosity. And he says, no, because gossip, and he actually spelled it wrong. He spelled it C-O-P-I. He spelled it C-O-S-I-P, gossip. I mean, that's the other thing. A lot of people don't know how.
And you gotta stop.
A lot of people don't know how to spell today. I mean, it's clearly in the picture. G-O-S-S-I-P. G-O-S-S-I-P. Gossip. Even I know how to spell it. But he says no, because gossip is to start trouble, and the news is to warn you of trouble. Okay, and what news are you talking about that's warning us of trouble? Or you know what? The news is not. The news originally was supposed to, and I'm not making this up either. When Benjamin Franklin started the first newspaper. Yes, he did that. He did the Farmer's Almanac, and he started the newspaper. When he printed the newspaper, what he did, since there wasn't really major situations going on like there was today, what he did was, since he was a genius, literally since he was born, he wrote these news articles with imagination, which people lack today. And he wrote it in such a way that people actually believe what he wrote. And he wrote a lot of good stories, like feel-good news stories that like, oh yeah, something good's happening. But he wrote maybe like one or two bad stories, like not like bad as in wording, but bad as like bad situations. Now, ever since the beginning of the news that Benjamin Franklin started, which was the Colonial Continental, I'm not making this up either, it's in a PBS documentary that I watched about him, the Colonial Continental. Ever since that newspaper, the news ever since has been used, instead of informing people of actually what the true story is, the newspaper, just like the Bible, has been cherry-picked in order to fill specific political propaganda. For example, and I'm a liberal, I'll admit I'm a liberal, And I'll admit, MSNBC goes a little too extreme left-wing from time to time. And I hate Fox News. I absolutely hate it. But Fox News is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Fox News and MSNBC are perfect examples of what I'm talking about. They will cherry-pick the news, and Obama...
What does that mean, cherry pick?
And let's face it, Obama's a good president. He's better than Bush, but Obama's done some things which Democrats aren't necessarily proud that he's done, and Republicans just hate Obama because he's black. No word of lie. If they say, oh, it's not a race thing, bullshit, it is a race thing. But let's just say if Obama signs this bill for this $1.1 trillion bill budget thing to fund the government till September of 2015. Let's just say if he signs it into law. Now, as somebody who grew up in not a liberal household, but a very independent household, I could see both sides of the spectrum. Now, this is the truth about this bill. Now, if Obama signs it into law, that means the Affordable Care Act, which the most you pay for a health care plan is like maybe $130 tops. The prices of the Affordable Health Care Act will go up. So let's just say if you're an unemployed person and the best you could afford is the basic package, which is $75. Now, with this $1.1 trillion bill, if Obama signs it into law, he may not, but if he does, that 75 will bump up to 175, which is higher than the third package that a unemployed person can buy, which is, like I said, $130. So you're going to have a basic package going from $75 to $175, and etc. The prices will go up, and it will be no longer the Affordable Health Care Act. It will be the expensive, I can't afford this shit act, and it'll be essentially the money for Obamacare. Like I said, the prices will go up, and then what I have this is my idea, nobody else's idea, not Fox's idea, not MSNBC's idea. My theory is the Republicans wanted this passed, and they duped the Democrats into passing it, is because with the 1.21 gigawatts. With the $1.1 trillion bill passed, that means the Republicans, with that extra funding, can stop Obamacare, can stop Social Security if they want to. So yes, I think this is a plan for the Republicans to stop government programs which help the people, but where does the truth come? No, from nowhere. Point being is, with news, ever since the first newspaper, from the first newspaper to newspapers today, and just news outlets in general, it's so one-sided, it's not central, it's so one-sided on each side, and the facts are neither here or there on each side. So all the news today is, all the central news today is, and I'm being honest about this, if it's not about Kim Kardashian's ass, if it's not about the latest movie out, if it's not about what Taylor Swift wrote today, it's not news. So if there's a genuine news story going on, like, let's just say if there's a tornado in Hawaii, which would never happen, but let's just say by some cosmic event that it does happen, it would never make the news. Maybe CNN, most likely, but other than that, ABC wouldn't report it, NBC wouldn't report it, CBS wouldn't report it, Fox wouldn't report it, MSNBC wouldn't report it.
This is yours, don't lose it.
The reason why they won't report it is because, like I said, if it's not about Kim Kardashian's ass, if it's not about the latest movie out, or if
You
it,
like saying Kim Kardashian's ass.
or if it's not about what Taylor Swift wrote, it's not news. Simple as that. So, news is just gossip today. That's all news is. If you pick up a New York Post, what's the latest story? Actually, I have a New York Post newspaper because I actually find it funny. Fan sues sports anchors for fat nap jokes. If you know what I'm talking about, fat New York Yankees fan fell asleep at a Yankees game. So anyway, the sports newscasters made fun of him, which is simple but yet funny. Wrong but funny, but it's all gossip. That's all news is today. So that's a logical question. So if gossip is news today, so does it make the news devil's work? And he's like, oh no it doesn't, it warns us of trouble. I'm like, gossip starts conversations, how bad is that? Most news is gossip nowadays, with Kim Kardashian's ass, etc. Nobody gets real news today. And that's a fact, nobody gets fucking real news. The only place you can get real news is the Colbert Report, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, Real Time with Bill Maher. Comedians are newscasts, are true news anchors today because that's their job, to look at the real news and make jokes about it. That's where you get your news from. Nowhere else. Like I said, MSNBC, Fox, the facts are neither here or there, and everything's unbalanced. On MSNBC, it's with, if it's something said about Obama, the Republicans are being racist, etc. And on Fox, Obama's this, Obama's that. But, I mean, other than that, news outlets like, okay, I'll pretend like I have three arms here. MSNBC, CBS, and ABC, facts are neither here or there, and it's basically all about Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, the royal family, etc. No real news. No real news. So, yeah, I'm an atheist, and I'm questioning him, logically. So if gossip is the devil's radio, wouldn't that make news the devil's work? I don't know, help me out here. Can you answer my question, please? You can't rely on people that cherry-pick the Bible to express an opinion. You can express an opinion without using the Bible, if you're religious. You can use it without using the Bible. Key tip, you can have an opinion without the Bible.